He f***ed me to that song. He probably didn't notice, but I did. Because it's Likey Lee. And getting to one of her songs is like a ritual. Hey guys, so today I am going to be filming another story time. And this one is going to be full of juices. Not mine. Maybe. So today we're going to be telling the story of the time that I was going to hook up with a guy, but he did not know that I was transgender. We will definitely be learning from my mistakes today. So let's just get right into it. So this whole story takes place a couple months ago, and I was with 2 of my girlfriends, and then one of my girlfriends had 2 of her friends with her, so altogether it was 6 of us. And the place we were going to be going for the night was a college frat. And from my knowledge, the 2 friends that were with my girlfriends, they all went to state. So those 3 went to state, and then me and one of my other friends kind of were just tagging along for the fun of the night. The trash of the night. So I wasn't really handling the situation because I'm not a college girl. They kind of just asked me to go, and I was like, okay, I'm down. I'll never turn down a party. My dumbass. So anyways, I ended up getting ready at my house with one of my really close girlfriends. I freaking love her to death. I'm always getting into messiness with her. And then everyone else was going to meet at my house, and then we were all going to take an Uber to the frat together. Once we all meet up at my house and we take the Uber to the frat, there is the frat guy, and he like lets us in or whatever. We say hi to him because I guess one of the girls that we went with, she's a co-worker with him, so like they knew each other. And once we like get in the frat, I take in my surroundings. It's not really like a Project X, you know, typical college type of party, because we do end up finding out that it is parents week, or like there's parents there for the week visiting. So they can't really do any major partying. But there are people playing beer pong, and there is music going, I'm guessing, where all like the frat parties take place. I guess you can kind of call it the party area because there was like the little dance floor, like a stage, DJ, all that fun stuff. We all kind of like trickle in, we're saying hi to a few people, we kind of mingle around a little bit, but then we end up going up to one of the guys' rooms. We end up taking the stairs up to the guy's room, and like, I'm taking in my surroundings because it's weird to see how like what a frat looks like. I've never been in one before. It kind of looked like college housing, but inside one big house. Honestly, I'm really bad at describing my surroundings, and I'm kind of a dumbass, like, obviously I don't go to college. So please just try to bear with me with how I describe things. We do end up getting to the room, and there's like 4 guys in there, and then 6 of us girls, so altogether there's 10 of us. And inside of the room, there's like 2 twin beds, because I'm pretty sure people do share the rooms, and then there's a couch, and then I think there was like 2 little fridges stacked on top of each other. So it was a little compact in there, but I kind of liked it. It was like kind of cute, but definitely messy. I mean, obviously they're college guys. Everyone ends up taking a seat everywhere. They start bringing out like drinks and like smoking a little bit or whatever. I'm like the awkward one out because I do end up sitting in this chair that's right next to the door, and everyone's kind of like more towards the beds and like the couch area. And that's just really my personality, especially if I'm around people I don't know and they're full on freaking college guys. Like, duh bitch, of course I'm gonna be intimidated, especially since none of them know that I'm trans. So I'm just sitting in my little seat in the corner. I get offered a shot of Fireball. Fireball is disgusting. So I'm just enjoying myself on my phone, just sitting in the corner watching everyone just talk and mingle, because I'm a people watcher. Like, I usually like just to sit there and watch people like interact with each other. I'm one of those weirdos. Until my really close girlfriend calls me over to sit with her on this twin bed while she's kind of talking to this really, really hot guy, who also ends up being the guy that doesn't know I'm trans. Well, actually, all of the guys didn't know I'm trans, but he's like the main focus of the story. Like, he's the one. And we need to give him a name for this story time, because I'm not just gonna keep on calling him that one guy. So we will name him Dan. Literally randomly came to mind. I don't know. He's Dan for this story. And I'm also not really gonna go too into detail about what Dan looks like, just because it would be really easy for people to find out who he was with just like a few of the slightest details. But let's just say he is definitely my type. So once I do go sit over there, Dan does try talking to me, but I kind of try brushing him off because you can kind of tell he's flirting also, and I don't want to lead him on, so I'm kind of just trying to brush him off, especially since like he's that frat stereotype, muscly, tall, big. I don't feel like getting killed, especially since I don't know how he would handle the whole situation with me being trans. I'm not trying to handle the what ifs right now, okay? Like, I'm just trying to play it safe. So I do just sit there and continue to conversate with him a little bit, just because I don't want to be rude and completely brush him off. Because he actually is a really cool and like nice guy once I did start getting to know him a little bit better. We do end up talking a lot more, and it kind of just becomes conversation between me and him in like the little corner while everyone else is just mingling and like drinking more. And I definitely did warn him that I have a pocket knife and pepper spray in my bag, so he better not f with me. Don't f with this tranny, because she won't mess you up. And I also really was starting to warm to this guy a little bit just because everyone else was drinking this alcohol straight because there were no chasers around. And I'm a little bitch. But he ended up going into the fridge that was in the room and found a Hubert's lemonade hidden in the back of the fridge. And he gave it to me to drink so that I would drink with him. So he was definitely earning brownie points for the night. Even though I had like no intention of hooking up with anyone that night, like I even told my friend beforehand, like while we were getting ready at my house, that like I'm not hooking up with anyone at this frat. Or so I thought. I purposely even didn't shave my little pubic area. I mean, I didn't have like a lot of hair, but there was a little patch. And usually when I hook up with the guys, I like to be completely bald, smooth, and flawless. So having a little bit of prickles kind of motivated me not to hook up with anyone. Eventually, everyone in the room does end up deciding to migrate down to the main area where like the DJ setup and the little dance floor area are. So we do all end up going down there, drinking more, just mingling there and having fun. So once we do get down to that area, I do kind of try to break free from Dan just because I don't want to lead him on more. So I kind of try to put distance between us and standing off of myself. But he ends up coming up to me again and continuing to talk to me. And I kind of look across to my girlfriend and I'm kind of like, what do I do? Like, I'm not trying to lead this guy on and him beat the shit out of me. Like, we're making like those kind of eyes while I'm also still trying to talk with him and not be rude. We do decide to make our way over to where everyone else is at the stage and sitting there and drinking more, dancing, everyone's just having a good time. The alcohol that they had for the night does eventually run out, so I end up volunteering to like go to the store with one of the guys that are older than 21 because a majority of them are, and it ends up being Dan and then one of his friends. So me, Dan, and one of his friends end up walking to like the 7-Eleven that is around the college area. And of course, at 7-Eleven, I had to get my all-time favorites at the time, Pure Poison for Locos. Why is it that every time I drink Four Locos, I do completely stupid shit? Once we do get back to the frat house, we all end up going upstairs to that one room again and continue drinking there. One of my friends and the two girls she came with do end up deciding to leave, which I don't even remember why we didn't leave with them at the time. At that point, I was pretty drunk, so I don't really remember why we didn't leave with them. That's kind of how I am though when I'm drunk. I'm in my own like trashy Trin world. So my really close girlfriend and I do end up staying at the frat house longer, and she's talking to this one guy and then I continue talking to Dan and we're sharing the Four Loko. One thing does lead to another and we do end up making out on the couch pretty heavily because we're sitting on the couch inside of that room. And then I don't know why, but we do end up making our way into the hallway where things do end up getting a little sexual. And at this time, he still doesn't know I'm trans. So I'm kind of digging myself a grave here. This is definitely one of those story times where you should learn from my mistakes and do not make them. And the most freaking embarrassing part is that while we are getting kind of heated in the hallway, someone does end up walking out because it's a big ass frat and there is a bunch of rooms with guys in them. Luckily though, it is completely dark, but still one of the guys does end up seeing us and catches us. Now that I think about it, I'm so embarrassed. But my mentality when I'm drunk is that all I want is to get dicked down. So I give no f***. He does end up leading me down to another level of the frat house where there is more rooms. One of the rooms specifically, I believe, is for people to hook up. It also does have a specific name, but I'm not going to give it away just because if I did, people could probably find out what the name of the frat was. But yes, I was that one girl that went into the room where all of the frat guys take their conquest into. Just another tally on the bedpost. Once we do end up getting inside of the room and we make our way to the bed and make out more and things just end up getting pretty heated, it kind of gets to the point where I do have to tell him I'm trans because like, I don't have a vagina. And I had enough in me to know that I did have to tell him and just be prepared in case the situation did turn deadly because that kind of whole frat stereotype does scare me. Especially after watching American Horror Story Coven. Like, bitch, I don't have superpowers to kill him if he doesn't take this whole trans thing well. And then I didn't even have my bag with me, so I was completely So I do end up pushing him off me a little bit and saying to him, like, I have something to tell you, like, I'm transgender and I will completely respect your decision 100%, whatever you do end up deciding, but, like, I have to tell you that because I don't have a vagina. Which I should have been completely honest with him and respected his decision even before we started kissing. But, you know, I was drunk, which is not an excuse. I was scared, and I didn't want to ruin my girlfriend's night because she was visiting from college. His reaction is literally one of pure shock. Like, just the way his face is, like, his jaw, like, just dropped, and he, like, was out of this world. Like, he didn't know what was going on. Initially, I didn't know if he was shocked just because of the fact that I was transgender, and he was, like, disgusted by that. Or if it was because of the fact that this really pretty girl has a dick. Once he does get over the initial shock of me being trans, he does end up being cool with it and we hook up for the night. Like, even after he did end up wanting me to stay for the night, but I did have to get back home just because my friend was visiting from college, so she had to leave early the next morning. So me and him ended up getting dressed, going back upstairs to meet my girlfriend, and called an Uber to come pick us up. And I guess just to fill you guys in, I did recently just hang out with him again, and that's kind of what made me want to make this video, just because that whole night could have definitely ended up turning out deadly, but luckily for me, it turned out for the best, and I not only got good dick once, but I've gotten it twice. And hopefully many more times after this. I really hope he doesn't watch my videos. That would just be a mess. Anyways, that's really all for today's super trashy ass story time. I hope you guys did enjoy watching, and if you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Definitely motivates me to make more of these messy story times. You can also find links to all of my social media like Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat in the information bar down below, so do not forget to check those out. Especially Snapchat, because anything that will end up turning into the story time on this channel happens on Snapchat first. Like, now that I even think about it, I did end up posting a picture of me and him on my Snapchat that night. So if you are part of the OG Trash fam, you guys would have seen him. So definitely do not forget to check out those social media links. And as always on my channel, until my next video, have a beautiful day full of rainbows and glitter. Bye. This was definitely one of those story times where you should learn from your fairy trans mother's mistakes.